Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Monitoring the Situation. Bit of a different stream today. I know I already teased it and we posted about it, but not going to be sleuthing or doing any like live work today. I actually have a special guest and a really good friend of mine, Whale. He recently joined the Ink Chain team, so wanted to get him on and spill the alpha.
Yo, what's up, brother? It's good to be employed.
It is good to be employed,
It's a
especially
good
right
day to
now.
be
You kind of
employed.
timed getting a job well. I will say that. So,
Yeah.
if
I mean,
anything,
I didn't mean for it to work out this way. I've been in touch with the team since whenever the NBA All-Star game was. I think that was like in February or something. So I've been in touch with some of the guys like Tony on the team since then. So it's been a work in progress, and it seems like it was it just happened to line up with the way the market is right now.
yeah, I mean, we could talk about the market for sure, but I don't really want to, I'd say. So let's
Nobody
just
wants
get
to look
into
at
it.
it. Nobody wants to think about it.
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned on my last stream that like Ink TVL had exploded. You can basically see this like green candle basically upwards on the DeFi Llama TVL chart, mostly from Tidro, which maybe you can speak a little bit about, but then we can get into like more so just the specifics of Ink. I think like a lot of people were turned off to it for a while just because like it was pretty quiet and people were like, oh, well, what are they doing over there? They've been quote unquote live for a long time and not much has happened, but now it really feels like it's ramping up. So yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can start with a little bit of an intro. I've been in crypto for, I don't know, since like DeFi summer or so, and did well during the NFT season. And I think a lot of people kind of found out about me during the Unibot, the whole Telegram trading
Yes.
bot season, right?
Yes.
And then that really propelled me into the whole consumer app side, working with different terminals and launch pads, yada yada yada. I mean, those were the times, man. I mean, I just posted about this, but I remember like it was yesterday when people were literally downloading like PWAs, right? Using Friend Tech as a PWA and not being able to even download the apps because the Apple App Store didn't allow crypto apps to be downloaded, right?
Yep.
Now we
Yep.
literally FOMO, you can just click one button and you just do, you know, pay with Apple Pay, and then you can on ramp in like three buttons, which is so wild. But I just love how far we come in such a short amount of time. And yeah, that's when I really started meeting a lot of people in the space during that TG trading time. And then, prior to that, I did business consulting work, did data governance work, worked in Fortune 500 companies. So I'm an unk. I didn't. I wasn't just like 16 sniping on-chain shitters and just graduated to being a millionaire by the time I was 18. I actually had a corporate background prior to this, and then yeah, now I'm working with InkChain. So yeah, no, the guys are great.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's powerful though, especially for this new work because you're kind of bridging like DGens on chain and definitely a more corporate side. And so like you're kind of the perfect person to do that because you have been deep in the weeds on chain, like you are a trencher, right? But then you're also have a good background on
It's
like the
really weird being back. It's
yeah, I
really
imagine.
weird. I mean, I have a good structure and a good routine, so I'm pretty good at, being a part of a growing organization. It's a real startup vibe right now. They're hiring engineers, they're doing all these initiatives. There's so many things happening at once. People are working on different things that they're very like passionate about. So it feels like a real grassroots, like boots on the ground kind of a startup. I love the energy. Everybody's super excited. And obviously, we just launched our like private alpha for NATO today. But yeah, it's been great. But I miss trading on chain. I've been so focused on this that I haven't been on chain for like, man, like over a week, which feels
Right,
like a
you
year.
would have missed nothing.
Yeah.
I think everyone's been getting whipped on like this steak post. I mean, like I think it's been medieval torture out there.
Man, the only thing that I've seen was like 6, 7, which I did catch a little bit just because I had info on like some guy who bought a lot of the supply, and I was like, okay, this seems like a pretty good play. It's like the biggest meme. So I bought some 6, 7 and played that. But and I did the Solomon ICM, the pre-sale. But
Yeah.
other than that, man, I have not touched that. I missed it though. I miss it. I mean, it's so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'd say it's really fun when it's good. Otherwise, you just feel like you're in a slog, right? Like, you
Yeah.
feel like you're just staring at your computer, nothing's going by. It almost feels worse than a normal job. Like, I'd rather be working at McDonald's than be, like, trading on chain
All
right now.
right, hold on. Let's pump the brakes, bro.
Hey, man, at least the time passes faster, like, there's an element of actually doing work that makes the time pass faster. But, you mentioned NATO there for a second. I know that just went live today. Yeah, I'd love for you to speak about that, what you guys are cooking over there and how it plays into, like, the ink chain ecosystem at large.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess before I talk about NATO, I have to talk about Ink, right? Ink is an L2 backed by Kraken. And simplest way to envision, what they're doing with Ink is kind of think about Base is the Coinbase, right? And how that ecosystem has grown. And Ink, we basically want to have a thriving ecosystem of cool apps and great applications that people want to use. Because a lot of people might think like, okay, why do you need another L2? Like, why another chain, right? But what this cycle has really proved is that it's all about the applications, right? I mean, Hyperliquid, I mean, they started on Arbitrum, right?
Mhm.
But it's grown to be something way beyond that initial infrastructure. And even with GTE today, we saw, right? We were just talking about it. They're
Yeah.
going onto their own chain. And there are always rumors about Pump Fund, doing their own chain as well too. So it's all in the end, it feels like, okay, who has the best applications that people are actually using? And the base chain has done a really good job of creating those kind of things like Zora. At first, like I was just talking about earlier, they created Friendtech, right? That was really the first time, like 2.5 years ago or so, when base was up for a while and retail really wasn't using it at first. I mean, there was like the volume from, I think, like Aerodrome and Velodrome or whatever. But the first time I remember I really got interested in base as retail was because of Frentech, the application, right?
Mhm.
So people go on these chains for, okay, what can I do on there, right?
Yes.
So that's the whole thing, right? You have your own L2, then you can build cool stuff, and obviously we'll have a builders initiative and we'll have an on-chain initiative where we, get some devs on and they're gonna build cool shit. So that's the plan. Um, and yeah, so it's still very, very early days, which is super exciting. Like I said, it's a very startup environment. Everybody's working on their own initiatives. There's captains to these initiatives, so um, yeah, it's super, super exciting. And I love working on things early, right? Because that's how you um, really make a big impact. Because if you're in a big organization or something that's already scaled, the work that you do has less of an impact, right? Like
Mhm.
if you're going to make I don't know, like a $10 million donation to a college, would you rather, give the donation to like a really, really well-funded college already, or to like a small community college where your $10 million goes like a really, really long way? So, I mean, personally for me, I like to go where I can make big impact and be efficient and be working with a lot of people. Well, be working very closely with decision makers, right? So that's kind of why I'm on the Ink chain and with the team. It's been a lot of fun. It's still really early, and we're gonna have some cool stuff coming out.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what comes about because it's like again, like it's like finally ramping up. To the base point, I remember I hit bald, like when base first opened up, right? Like,
Bald. Yeah, I remember
but then
that.
there was this period where post bald there was like nothing, and base kind of like died a little bit, and like
Yeah.
everyone was like, okay, what's going on here? And then like you said, Friend Tech launched. So I guess my next question would be, aside from NATO, which we can get into in a bit,
Right.
how would you describe the culture of Ink versus other L2s? Like Base definitely has their own culture. Jesse's amazing, like the tokenization of everything, and there's like a big social media push and much more like I'd say, I don't know, matcha NYC, retail friendly.
Matcha and
In a bit, but like if you like Zora
performative male.
in a good way though, like you know what I mean? Like Zora definitely has like that fun alignment, at least design wise, I'd say. And then base is also like going really heavy after like LATAM and India and Nigeria and other places where they can make a bigger impact marginally with like stable coins and on-chain issuance. But at least first off, it appears Inc maybe is going a little bit a different direction. Like your guys' first like major protocol is like Tidro. which is like very, very, I'd say, professional, DeFi backed by or like built with Aave. And
Mhm.
then now you have NATO, which is like going to be a really professional perp dex, it seems. And so, yeah, curious to how you see like the culture of Ink. Obviously, it doesn't maybe have one quite yet, but how you see it differing.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, really hard to define culture while it's forming, right?
Hmm.
It's easy to see it once it's formed, and it's really, really hard to change culture. Um, and I would say, what Base actually came on with a mission. It was like, oh, to on ramp more people onto crypto and to create like a creator-friendly environment. That was their big thing, and they've done a fantastic job. I think Jesse's doing a great job onboarding a lot of people and kind of leading as the person for these creatives. For Ink right now, we are just building out the infrastructure, right? I mean, there's so many things that need to happen, right? Like the Ink Dex needs to go up. We need aggregators. We need more added to the stablecoin layer. We need more of money markets and for yield. Obviously, we have the leverage side coming out with NATO, but it's still very early. And then I think what will happen is that the culture, like quote unquote, of the chain will end up defining itself through the applications and the communities that we build, right? So I think that's really important that you don't keep such a close, closed definition of what you want it to be, but you
Hmm.
just kind of let it grow out as you keep moving forward, and then letting the community define itself, right? I think that's super important because that way you're not just hold to like, okay, this is what we want to be, and this is what we're going to be, but it's more just moving along with the community and listening to them and defining yourself with the people that are getting involved. So I think that's super, super important. Yeah, and let's see. Obviously, we had Tidro, and now we have NATO launching, but we have so many different things that we need to do. Like the Ink Dex needs to be launched, and we have, oh man, lots of dexes and different even like on-chain suites that we're going to be working on as well. So there's just so many things happening at once, and they're all going really, really fast. And actually, kind of happy for the holiday period during like Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's because it gives the team a lot of time to work, right? And then for the new year, we'll have a lot of things coming up. So right now, today, for the purpose of this conversation, you know, we just launched NATO today. Not
Hmm.
not for the public, obviously. It's literally like day one, and we have our private alpha users coming in, and they're giving us a lot of feedback. We were getting the market makers onboarded, and it's really interesting to see how a perp dex really gets built out in the beginning, because obviously you and I have both used a lot of different perp dexes. We've used like Hyperliquid, Lighter. I don't know if you use like Pacifica, but
Yeah.
Edgex. I mean, there's so many that we've tried out, right? Drift, you name it, right? When you go on these platforms, you kind of go on after it's all fleshed out, when the order books are filled, and you're just putting in the orders, and you expect it to work perfectly. But obviously, it's a private alpha because we expect things to break and for us to improve. And obviously, like aside from like the mechanical back end engineering side, which thank God for our engineering team, they're crushing it. We were in a war room call. I mean, and we were all just working today, and they were just going at 1,000 miles per hour, just crushing it. But yeah, no, these private alpha guys are really valuable for us. And even though like it's like if you wait for a product to be perfect, you're going to be late to launch, right? So
Hmm.
you have to launch it when it's not, so that you can build based on a user feedback. That is simply the best way to build, because these guys are going to give you the best feedback and help you find the blind spots the quickest, right? So that's kind of where we're at. We have up to, I don't know, maybe last time I checked, maybe it was like 150 or 180 people so far, but we're slowly going to trickle it out because obviously we have a lot of things to fix. We want the books to be tight, and yeah, just a lot of kinks to work out so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think that approach you're talking about is like the Microsoft versus Apple, right? Like it's like the iteration versus just putting out like the perfect product. And I think in crypto especially, you have to be iterative because like if you just put out your iPhone 1 and it's like set. That's that. Like that's your product done. We're not making any changes until the next like version 2 years out. You're just gonna get crushed. And I think especially what you said about like building infra before like trying to
Kind of
define
go crazy
culture
with the yeah, but with
is
culture.
good because I think I see a lot of chains. They try and develop culture before actually launching and having infra. And I think that's just so hard because then the chain could have like a different feel or to like the culture that was already made beforehand. And it's like I think the chain has to come first, like for sure. Cause it's just like a lot of those things naturally propagate. And if you try and force that with memes or whatnot, and then your chain comes out and it's like something completely different, like maybe you're making like a ton of degen community beforehand and then your chain comes out and it's like super professional, mostly DeFi and like mostly RWA, and then it's like, well, you have a total mismatch, right?
Right.
So I think that that's important, and I
Well,
like that you guys have kind of kept it really open.
yeah, and if you really think about, like, let's say you go to college and you want to like choose your major, right? And let's say you have a general idea of where you want to go into, but you don't know the specific like degree, the specific like job you want, right? But you'll end up going to business school so you can try out like a finance class or
Hmm.
info system or accounting or whatever, right? So you go into the general direction you want to go, and then you narrow down the scope and figure out what you really want to go into. And it's like people take their, you got to experiment before you figure out what you want. Like, you got to try out different jobs before you end up with the one that you love. I mean, a lot of people in cryptos don't seem to have this problem because they're like, okay, I'm in crypto and I'm 18 and I'm crushing it. I was a pro Fortnite player and then I'm crushing it on chain, and this is what I'm going to do forever. So a lot of people in crypto, maybe on chain, don't seem to have that problem because they seem to love what they do immediately. But even like dating, right? You got to date people around to figure out what you like, what you don't like, who's a good fit for you, who you're not a good fit for, who you are a good fit for. So you kind
Yeah,
of
you
got to
can't have your
figure out.
chain be an arranged marriage, right?
Yeah,
You can't just like, this is
yeah,
what our
unless you're
culture's gonna be
Desi or
like.
something.
Yeah, like this is what our culture's gonna be like. Here's our chain, marry now. Like, and like, yeah, no, it
Actually, is
definitely.
it? I'm pretty sure there's like a pretty good hit rate or success rate of arranged marriages. So I don't know if that's like the best like comparison.
Yeah, but most arranged marriages are also like in religious settings, right? Where it's
That's
like
true.
frowned upon to get a divorce. So I think it can be like a lot of data poison there.
Right, right. So they could just be not happy, but the success rate, the numbers are pumped up. But in reality, are they really happy with themselves? Who knows? But
This is the
anyways,
opposite for the
this
religious.
is this is this is
We're gonna
the
talk
real.
about arranged marriage in religious
Yeah, and
context.
then we'll go into Latinos next.
Okay, yeah, maybe you can give us some tips there after this. But how would
No,
you
no,
describe
let's.
then, like, how you guys are approaching NATO? I mean, it's very early, obviously, but like, what makes it, I would say, maybe different, or what makes it special from other perp dexes? Maybe go into like, if you go to Tidro right now, for instance, you can kind of see this little like ink logo next to the deposits, right? That like kind of shows you maybe the rewards. Is that going to be similar for NATO? What's that going to look like?
Oh, excuse me. Um, yeah, I mean, I think I just want to. I mean, just the way that we're thinking about it, obviously, is like I mentioned, I've used a lot. I mean, the team has done a lot of research on all the other ones that have been super successful. Obviously, we love Hyperliquid. We love trying out Lighter. We love trying out like different ones like Pacifica, EdgeX, even the equity perp ones, right? Even
Mhm.
like Trade.xyz or Vest or whatever it is, or Ostium, you name it. I'm wow. Now that I'm naming them, there's so many.
There's like I could name way more. It's ridiculous, but it's good, right? Like it makes every product better because it's more of a competitive market.
Yeah, exactly. And what I really love about all of them is that they have the different. Oh, and Aster, right? And they all have different strategies and they have their own flair to it. But if you look at it, I like that they each have with the point system. They have seasons, right? And those seasons kind of remind me of why League of Legends is like super successful because it's like a never-ending game, but they allow you to have different metas, right? And each season comes with like if you compare it to points, it's like, oh, okay, this season you will get rewarded more for using this feature, right? And you introduce new features each season, and you incentivize your users to go in that direction or to use it. And those people that try out new features are rewarded according, right? I
Hmm.
like that about what perplexes do because they really are good at pointing you in the direction of like what they want you to try, and it's really good for user feedback too. And okay, so Hyperliquid did a really good job of that. Lighter, I think, also did a good job of those points as well. I like that Lighter has zero fees. I think that's interesting. And also, like, I don't know, I could just talk about all these other ones, but okay, basically for us, right? NATO has a unified margin where you can do spot and perps, right? So you don't have to switch between like funding and unified funding,
Hmm.
like you have to do on certain exchanges, and that makes it super easy. And yeah, traders can earn incentives and referrals fees without needing token exposure. We have an order book plus A&M, so we'll have tighter spreads, deeper books, and better fills. And we'll have similar to like the HLP, we'll have our own NATO liquidity pool NLP. So you'll be able to use that as well too, and you'll be able to use that as margin. There's a lot of things that we're working on, and it's in the private alpha, so it's gotta be fun. And the thing is, I think referring back to gaming, I think there are a lot more interesting things we can do to keep the users happy. For example, like I related to gaming, right? A lot of the other perp dexes are very straightforward. You go there for trading, and you do spot trading, perp trading, and you have like a liquidity pool that you can you know withdraw from or whatever. But what I think we can do better is just making it more fun. Actually,
Hmm.
an exchange that I didn't mention that I thought was really good at bringing the fun aspect was Arbit. I know
Yeah,
that.
I mean, like, despite the crime recently, Andy Johnson, I love you. You need your money back. I'll say that right out. But they
Oh
did
yeah,
have some
justice for Andy Johnson. Andy
justice for
Johnson needs
Andy
his money
Johnson.
back.
Arbit, if you're listening to this, give him his freaking money back. Okay. Okay. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
But aside from that, I think Arbit has done a good job making it fun, right? Like, they also have like crazy leverage you can do, which makes it fun. But there's like the meme aspect of it that they leaned into that a lot of these other perp dexes and exchanges are just too formal and professional, right? I mean, ours is too, but I think you can lean into like the gaming aspect. Like, if going back to gaming, let's say like with Xbox, right? You're just playing like Xbox games or PS5 games or whatever, and you're in the middle of like a campaign and like a random bash shows up, right? And
Mm.
it shows you, oh, hey, like while you're playing the game, like you earned this achievement, right? It's like, oh, okay, well, that makes me feel like I'm making progression. And I feel like trading it's really the ultimate game, right? It's the ultimate game that you can play where you put something that's really valuable up front and you're playing with it. So, if you really think about it like a game, then we should be awarding or rewarding the players, right?
Hmm.
So thinking about like a system like badges or some way to reward the progression and for things that they're already doing and then tying it into our system is really, really interesting to us. So yeah, that's something, that's very interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, like, even FTX, they had like a badge system, almost like rankings, that was like looked more like League of Legends rankings than like a normal leaderboard. And I think a lot of people really vibe with that. I think like, a lot of people talk about social trading and they want, but I think like one of the best ways is just make it more gamified for the traders already,
Mhm.
perhaps more so than try and get like the Instagrammers to trade.
Yeah.
It feels much easier to do that and make things more sticky, at least for like, because most terminals or most perp dexes, most exchanges in general are very power law based, and the fact that the prosumers are going to do the lion's share of the volume, and so you want to really make sure it's sticky and fun for those users, while also still being professional. So it'll be fun to see what you guys cook up. I think there's like a lot of fun things you can do and take from different video games that I think have a really good place within perp dexes.
Yeah, I mean, life is a RPG, right? You're just leveling up, you're collecting
MMO,
items,
yeah.
it's an MMO, so you just gotta treat everything like it, and keep in mind, Lighter and Hyperliquid both did their like private alpha or private closed, uh, I think test nets, or was it private, or was it main nets but private, but for 8 months? So they were working on it for a long time, both. and we're trying to expedite that timeline. So the private alpha we'll have for a bit just to make sure everything is good, but in 2026 you can expect us to open it up a lot more. But in the meantime, join the wait list if you guys are listening. And yeah, we'll slowly accept people in just to make sure that we are, uh, you know, we don't have too many broken things for new users, right? And our team is doing a fantastic job, even with using the Zendesk and having like the support system, having the Telegram group for all the bugs. I just want to give a massive kudos to the team, Tony and Calvin for leading everyone, and you know, just so many people on the team that are just doing a great job, right? And where do I want to go to next? I mean, yeah, so a lot of things to look forward to, and it's not just NATO, right? We also have a lot of things that are cooking, hopefully to on chain to come in 2026. That this is a little bit of like a you know very early that's being worked on, but yeah, we have something that we want to bring to on-chain people. I don't know how much about this I can talk about already because it's so early. It's so
You're just
early.
edging us.
Yeah. Sorry. So I'm being careful with my words
Of
here.
course, of course. So I guess my question then is to like stay up to date, obviously. What are the best ways to would you say to get involved actively with Inc right now? And then like in the future, how can like someone quote unquote be early maybe? Is there like obviously not like Zeely, Kaido Yap farming or anything like that, but what would you say is the best way to stay involved or like find these opportunities maybe early, be early to deposits and whatnot?
Yeah, so I mean, if you're like a OG, if you've been in crypto since like I don't know 2019, even earlier, you'll be good at like going on different chains and trying out different protocols and doing borrowing and lending and or trying looping or doing more like on-chain savvy things. But a lot of people that have onboarded within the last like 2 years are very like meme coin focused. So maybe they're not as used to digging and they're used to clicking just like a button or two on the front facing UI, right? So what I would say is like, hey, just like take your time because the market is slower right now to like really educate yourself about like, oh, okay, this is a chain. How does a chain work? And follow the Inc. main Twitter, obviously. Right now, Tidro is where you want to go and just kind of try out borrowing and lending. So even with like a small amount, right, just like $10, just try it out and see like how the thing works. And understanding the mechanism is kind of like you let's say that you're a user of a bank, right? And you just go to the bank to deposit money or to withdraw money, but then you start learning about like how they work, right? It's kind of similar to that in learning about how a chain works and how their ecosystem works. So I would say just go around and play, and just be on the lookout for new things coming out. There's got to be new initiatives. So it's still really really early. So when I was coming on here, I was thinking like, how much can I talk about things, because I think 2026 you guys are really really going to see a lot of applications and lots of the ecosystem blooming. Obviously there's a lot of work going on in the background, so to me it's like, oh man, there's so many things happening. But now that you mentioned it, it's like for the users, just stay tapped in and like just don't fade it, right? Just don't sleep on it.
Yeah. And then, okay, you mentioned at the very start of the stream, perhaps a builder initiative. Let's say you're a dev right now and you're listening to this. What's the best way to like get involved in building on Ink? Do you guys
Oh,
like, is there any grants? Do you have like obviously developer docs, but like, why should a builder come to Ink right now?
that's a great question. And if you're a dev and you're listening and you're curious, just reach out to me, and and then I'll and then I'll put you in touch. Um, well, as you can see on Tidro, a lot of you'll see that you're accruing points, and the points are for the ink token, right? So the ink token it's already it's going to be a thing in the future, right? That's why on Tidro you can earn points for ink token. So yeah, that will play eventually down the line. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I gotta be
NFA,
careful with
NDA,
yeah, and yeah, NDA, NFA, or
YOR.
not NDA, NFA, NFA. Yeah, do your own research. But yeah, if you're a dev and you have cool ideas, just come out and reach out to me, and we can chat. I'm always curious about like new retail apps, and even there's even interesting stuff like I think it was Cause who worked on Time.Fun, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That yeah, on Solana, like where
Uh-huh.
you have to pay for somebody's time to talk to them. I think even things like those are really fun. It doesn't even have to be something like it can just be like a game that you play on chain or something, right?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, if you're a dev and you're interested, just reach out to me. I'd love to talk.
When Inkshank
And
hackathon, let's host it, bro.
Ink hat, yeah, let's start it tomorrow. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. No,
Yeah,
I
I mean
mean,
that will
it makes
happen.
a lot of sense, right? Like you want to be early, like incentive wise, it makes a lot of sense. And I think if you are a dev, I'd look into definitely building, on one of these newer chains that are popping up, just because like your leverage might be better. And, if you believe in that future, then it could be really worthwhile. Who knows?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I'm excited. Just have just being able to wear that ink badge now, and being able to, I'm seeing more people from the ink communities follow me, and I'm excited to just get in touch with those people and see like, hey, like how have you felt about ink, and like what are you seeing, like what do you want to see, and just connecting with them. And like you said, it's hard to define what the culture is like before, it really becomes something. So yeah, I just want to get in touch with people, see how they feel, and make sure that CT stays in touch and just knows that ink is a thing, right? Because I think that's something that's been missing. Like a lot of people on the crypto Twitter side is like, and I announced to people like, hey, I started working with ink, and they're like, oh, what's ink? Like I've kind of heard about it, but I don't really know about it, right? So that's like the next step they want to take slowly to, excuse me, to giving people exposure to it. But yeah,
Yeah,
man,
that
it's
makes a
super
lot of
exciting
sense.
stuff.
Yeah, man. I mean, like that sounds really exciting. I think like it's always nice to have like a really legit chain early, and to a lot of people it may seem slow, but I think you guys are approaching it really well. Just like locking down infra, locking down all of that before trying to onboard all of CT. Like I think that new chains run into a lot of problems when they like have a ton of hype and then they launch their chain and then it just like everything's bricked because it's so hard. But like you guys are definitely iterating with scale, and I think that's going to be pretty powerful. So if you're a builder, if you're a trader, if you're listening like I am, I'm excited to be a part, man.
Yeah, man. Just let me know if you have people reaching out. It's like, hey, like, who is this whale guy? I don't want to talk to him. I'd rather talk to LPR instead. So I'm gonna I'm gonna
I'm gonna
ask
block
like how I
them.
can get involved. Yeah, just
I'm just gonna block them straight up.
just DM hashtag gold.
Yeah, just DM at Elon Musk, and then yeah, f you. Your problems are
Just
moot.
DM gold to LTR for the alpha.
Oh no, not the gold though. Shout out retarded all time high, I guess. But
But yeah, man, it's good. Like, there's a lot of things being worked on. Obviously, like you said, the infra comes first. You gotta build a lot of bridging to make sure that people can bridge efficiently and easily. I mean, we have a few ways to do that. Like Bungee is a really good way, but bridges bring the liquidity in, and then dexes and money markets, they kind of circulate it. Stable coins and RWAs, I guess, kind of stabilize it.
mhm.
Perps and options, you're able to, I guess, amplify, and then aggregators, and then the whole retail social side of things, right? So it's still very early days, but the great thing is that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to put your own spin on it, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, I noticed with Ink specifically that you guys seem to like really be almost integrating vertically in the sense that like Tidro is with Aave, right? But like it's also very much Inks, and like NATO seems to be kind of similar. Whereas with a lot of chains, it almost seems a little more, I don't know, outsourced in a sense. Whereas like this seems like you guys are really trying to own the stack, but also allow more and more builders to come that aren't like Ink affiliated.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I mean, you have to draw people from crypto Twitter, right? Like we really want to get in touch with these guys, and that's kind of what I'm here for. Because if you just, I don't know, man, there are some chains that just kind of have been, I think, taken too much of like a corporate approach, or it's really weird because these people are on Twitter, but they're like not in touch with crypto Twitter. Do you know what I mean? Right? There's
Yeah,
projects
yeah,
that
yeah,
will like
definitely.
launch and then they'll have like a token, but they have no idea what makes the market like bullish on their token or things they should say or shouldn't say, like, not posting charts or talking about price. Like, there are things that crypto Twitter just kind of inherently understands that's not intuitive for a lot of people. So, I really want Ink to have that connection with people that are like the autistic schizo, not just
Like
them, but
me.
like people that are just like here all the time and that have
Yeah.
been here, because these are like the real power users, right? And you know, if you can get those people on your side, then I believe that like that creates like a really solid base, and then you can kind of scale up, right? So I mean, I love being here. I mean, I have friends in this space. Like, it's and they're like super interesting people too, right?
Yeah,
It's
there's no
not
place like
people.
it, right? Like, you can simultaneously talk to, like, a billion-dollar hedge fund manager and then someone who's, like, off a Galaxy Gas or something in, like, his mom's basement, and, like, they can equally have good insights, and I think, like, crypto is nice because it's not ageist, and it's not like you don't have to have a certain amount of experience or whatever, you just have a Twitter, you're in Telegram, and you're on equal playing field pretty much, and I think that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's about like, okay, what is this person trying to do? Like, and you really battle out with ideas and words, rather than like who is this person and what's their
Yes.
experience or whatever, right? I mean, obviously it does matter, but that's what I love about it. It's that's what drew me into it in the first place, and I hope it continues to be that way, even with so much like institutional interest and the maturity of where crypto is as an industry. I hope that we do remain that way, and which is a part of why I love being pseudonymous, because I've always kind of just been anon pseudonymous, and I hope to keep that as well too. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, man, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, we have a lot of things happening. I want to talk about all of them. I'm
We
not
just
sure
just have to
how
come back in.
much. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
just have to come back when after I check back in one more time to see like, okay, what did I say on the stream that you guys are just like, okay, maybe you gotta like chill out on that. So
Sounds good, bro. Well, we'll have you back on, and I appreciate you coming on today. I know it was like a shorter stream, but I just wanted to like definitely get you on, get you in front of people because I think you're gonna be someone to watch. So go follow at Crypto Whale on Twitter. That's spelled whale is spelled WHAIL because he just is like that apparently. So yeah. Well, I appreciate you, Whale, as always, my brother. Have a good one, bro.
hey, much love, man. Take it easy.
Peace.